Hi, welcome to week 2 of music class. Before you go any further, if you haven't heard the music of the month, pause and have a listen. The music of the month should be posted right above this video. It's different for different grade levels, so take a listen and then come back to us. Now that you've heard it, go ahead and see which picture you think matches how you felt about this music. Does it make you happy? Are you bored because you heard it before? Or are you excited because it was familiar and you heard it last week and it had a good beat? All of these emojis and pictures are opinions, and all opinions are welcome. Okay? So after we make sure we answered how the music make us feel, we're going to go over what we do in this unit. We're going to talk about rhythms, echoing rhythms, singing using a pleasant tone, using movement to express ideas or feelings, talking about the music we listen to, what kind of feelings it brings, and learning how we're going to participate and cooperate with other students in music class. So today, when we were in music class today online, we took attendance. If there's some reason you can't make it, please email one of us. Please email Mr. Rogers or Mr. Lelio and let us know what's up and how we can help you. I'm glad you're here listening to the recording if you didn't make it to music class, or maybe you just wanted to hear something again. That's great too. So last week in music class, we talked about all the different things we're going to do: sing, instruments, move, learn about music. Then we talked about some do's and some don'ts for the virtual music class. So just take a second and look over some of the do's, the positive choices, okay? So a lot of friends are facing a lot of your teachers, your specialist teachers, Miss Rickards here is facing the laptop so she can see the visuals that the teacher's presenting. Miss Hasuni looks like she's paying attention. And both Mr. Rogers and Mr. Lelio are present in the meeting. That's always good when you've got your whole team there. You can listen and hear each other's good ideas. Let's look at some don'ts. It's just going to be too hard to try to eat. If you have to, obviously, okay. But we're going to ask you to be singing and moving and playing instruments, so it's going to be tricky to coordinate all of that. Phones and electronics should be away from you. We're not doing that at this time. Make sure there's other time in your day for those activities. And we all remember Mr. Brady's video from last week called Too Noisy. He wasn't using his mic appropriately, and you don't need power tools for music class. So this week in music, we're going over rhythms. Our quarter note here on the left is one sound and one beat, and it's da. Please clap a quarter note. It sounds like this, da. Okay, the little squiggle line next to that is a rest. It's called one beat of silence. You do have to account for the beat. It is a beat of silence. There's a couple different motions you could do if you read that. You could do like that. Make sure it's one beat with no sound. That's what that symbol means. We've got our eighth notes, two sounds within one beat. You can say da, da, or please clap two eighth notes. Okay, the last symbol we're using this week is the half note, and the half note is one sound that's two beats long. This is a longer one, so you go da. It's two beats long, so you need to account for that. Ta. Let's look at some rhythms on our bingo chart that we used in class, and I'm gonna clap them, and I want you to clap them after me. Number 1 would be ta, ta, ta. Ready, go. Okay. Number 2 would be ta, ta, ta. Ready, go. Let's do number 3. Number 3 would sound like this. Ta, ta, ta. Ready, go. Number 4 has some rests right in the middle. Number 4 would sound like this. Ta. Ready, go. Number 5 would sound like this. Ta. Ready, go. Number 6 would sound like this. Ta, 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 ta. Ready, go. Skip down to number 11. It's right below number 6. Number 11 has that 2 half notes. It would sound like this. Ta, ta. Ready, go. Okay, now we're going to skip. I'm not going to do the whole page. You can go through, you can pause this and see how many you can read on your own using those sounds. This is the rest. Ta is the quarter note and ta is the half note. Okay, so knowing that, you could probably read all of them. The only thing might be number 20 down here at the bottom. Might be different. That is a whole note. That's the one we didn't go over. And it is 4 beats long. To read number 20, you would have to say ta. Ready, go. Okay, if you were with us in class, what we did was we picked a name. We used this random name picker on Flippity. So I made one with all your specialist names on it. So let's see whose name comes up when I click it. Oh, the new Mr. Rogers. Some people are calling him Mr. R, the PE Mr. Rogers. So I'm going to call him Mr. R. So we picked a name, and then we went back to our chart here, and we said, Mr. R, Mr. R. And then how would we clap that? Mr. R. Okay, there's a couple different answers. So then we'd have to find out which one matched. And we would type the answer in the chat. Let's look at 13. 13 would work because it's, so that would be Mr. R. That would work. What about 21? Look at box 21. That would work too. Mr. R. What about number 1? It might be a little awkward. Mr. R. Maybe his name is a question, but I don't think so. I would go with 21 or 13 as the answer. Okay, let's pick another name. One more name just to show you how it goes. And then you can try your name. Z. Okay, Mr. Z. He is our art teacher, right? So let's go back. Oh, I have a perfect one. Oh, I know what I want. There's a couple different right answers on this chart, which is why it's a little, it's an upper grade chart. Okay, make your guess before I tell you. I'm going to tell you which one I like. I like the whole note at the bottom, number 20. Z. I think that fits beautifully, but you may have said 10. You may have said Z. Sure. You may have said 5. Z. Oh, that works. What if we said Mr. Z? Mr. Z. Oh, that's the same as Mr. R. Okay, we won't do that one. We'll say Z. Here we go with the let's do one more just in case. I just want to see who comes up next. This little wheel is fascinating. Oh, Mrs. Clatterbuck. Let's say Clatterbuck. Clatterbuck. Mrs. Clatterbuck. Okay, let's find her rhythm. Clatterbuck. So 3 sounds. Yep. You got your answer? I got mine. You couldn't be 16 because look, clatter, ta, ta, clatter. It's not enough sounds. It has to have 3 sounds, right? So what about 13? Clatterbuck. Or 21. What about that one? 21 would be ta, 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 clatterbuck. Okay, take a second and clap and say your name and figure out which rhythm would your name be. You can pause if you need more time because I'm going to go on. So the last thing we do at the end of every lesson is go over what your activity of the week is. It should be about 30 minutes. So this year's music class is set up. You have 30 minutes with us. If you miss that, I'm glad you're watching the video because this is what we did in class. This will catch you up. And then you spend 30 minutes of your own time doing the activity. So what we have you do this week is we want you to try out a game called Which Rhythm Do You Hear? This is the picture of the game. So look at the picture of the game before I click on it. Okay, here's the website. My dog is very excited. Okay, so it should take you here to the home page. You go to the first game at the top. Click it. Which rhythm do you hear? You can play any of the ones that you feel comfortable. If you know the symbols, let's say you play an instrument and you already know what all the symbols on the front are, click that number. Let's say you're just started and you want to click game 1. Perfect. So you hit play. And then you have to figure out which rhythm it was played. Was it the first one, which is ta, ti, ti, ta, ta? Was it the second one, ta, ti, 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 ta? Or was it the third one, ti, ti, ta, ta, ta? Maybe I want to hear it again. I just click it as many times. One more time. Okay, I'm going to guess this one, and that's correct. So to get a next question, you have to hit next. It doesn't go automatically. You click next. All right, so it's either going to be number 1, ta, ta, ti, ti, ta, or number 2, ti, ti, ta, 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 or number 3, ti, 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 ta, ta. I wonder what they're going to play for us. I want to hear it again. Let's say I think it's that one. Oh, okay. It's that one. All right, so give these games a try and see how well you do. See what your best score can be. Remember, you have to hit next to get to the next question. Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us in music this week. We went over rhythms. We have some rhythm games for you to play, and we look forward to seeing you next week in music class. Stay safe.